I'm L.
And I'm P. Welcome to LP Cricket.
We are back again. This time, we look at the 10 most outstanding bowlers of all time.
But how do we do this? Let's see. What makes a bowler outstanding?
This is a very difficult topic. In fact, we are trying to make sense of the biggest paradox of the game. On one hand, we are expecting test matches to produce the results, expect the bowlers to take wickets.
Yet, on the other hand, all the rules of the game are made to ensure that the batsmen survive longer at the crease.
Precisely, that's what I'm trying to say.
No denying that. From the era of W.G. Grace or Victor Trumper till modern day, watching cricket has always been about how well a batsman has done or doing. Bowling, arguably the more difficult art, is more often criticized than appreciated.
If the bowler oversteps or bowls out of reach of the batsman, he is penalized. Even when a batsman scores a run of a midfield or a dropped catch, the runs are recorded against the bowler.
Yet, it is the bowler who is expected to take wickets and win matches. Now, that brings us back to my original question. What makes a bowler outstanding?
Are you referring to some sort of performance criteria?
Exactly. But before that, the eligibility. The bowler's job is to take wickets cheaply and quickly. If a bowler gets sufficient number of wickets over his career, the talent of that person as a bowler cannot be doubted, can it?
So you are saying that we must consider taking a minimum number of test wickets as a requirement to be on a sort of short list of outstanding bowlers?
Precisely. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So what should the magic number be? Is it taking 100 wickets, taking 200 wickets?
Did you hear the names Larud and Bose?
Of course, the legendary bowlers who played this significant role in the Bodyline series.
Correct. But can you guess what the tally of wickets might be?
No, let me check. Larwood is 78 and Vos 98. Even jointly, they're less than 200 wickets.
So, do you see my point? Let's
Yes.
try one more. What about the famous Indian portrait of Bedi, Prasanna, Chandrasekhar and Venkat? How many wickets do you think they have taken individually?
Bedi 266, Chandra 242, Prasanna 189 and Venkat 156. Wow!
So do you see? 2 out of the 4 did not touch the 200 mark. Even Lilly and Thompson, who are always talked about in the same breath, while Lilly has 355 test wickets, how many do you think Thompson has?
No, should be close to Lilies, I guess.
You'll be surprised. Thompson has only 200 test wickets.
What? Okay, I get the drift. So, shall we take the middle path then? 150 wickets as a criteria to select that list of outstanding bowlers?
Let's start with that and see where it leaves us.
Alright? We have 100 odd bowlers who have taken more than 150 career wickets, which form the list of the outstanding bowlers to start with. Now we have to pick 10 from this list.
Great. Now we are ready to address my primary question. What makes a bowler stand out? Let's try and identify criteria for measuring outstanding performance in a bowler. You want to have a go at it?
I think there are quite a few performance criteria that should be considered. First, the sheer number of wickets a bowler has taken in its lifetime. Surely that's quite a good measure of longevity and sustained skill.
Yes. Go on.
The next would be the number of runs given away for every wicket taken.
You mean the bowling average?
Yes, the average.
Yeah, accepted. The lower the average, the more efficient the bowler is. Go on.
Next, I think we should look at the number of wickets taken per test. I think a high number would show a consistently performing bowler.
Yes, I would agree to that. We have 3 criteria now. What about strike rate? The number of balls bowled to capture each wicket.
So a low strike rate would be a clear indicator of a bowler's effectiveness consistently.
Exactly. That's the part. This is getting complicated. Again, the number of times a bowler has taken 5 wickets relative to the total number of innings played by him is a clear statement of his value.
Very interesting view. So this would be a clear sign of the frequency of the bowler contributing to a possible winning cause. Okay, anything else?
How about economy rate? Ability to contain runs is also important. Don't you think so?
It's important, but don't you think it is more relevant in the shorter version of the game? But I guess we have to take it as a criteria valid. So now we have 6 criteria listed and all are important. Any more to add?
No, I don't think so.
So we have 6 criteria and all these criteria are important in judging how outstanding a bowler is. Perhaps we may see different sets of bowlers excelling in each of these criteria. So should we see each of these criteria separately?
Yes, we will do that. But we must understand that for a bowler to be considered outstanding, he must excel in all criteria.
Okay. But all the criteria cannot be of equal importance. For example, the total number of career wickets has to be of lesser importance because we know of players extending or dragging their playing days just to reach personal landmarks. And as a result, the number of wickets they take per test, which is a measure of their actual effectiveness, may have suffered.
Precisely. That's the reason we have to decide on a degree of importance for each of these criteria.
So, you are talking of assigning weightage to each of these criteria and looking at scores of the players in each of these criteria and
then combining the scores with the weightages. Right.
ooh, that sounds fun and also tough. You have a go at the weightages.
Okay. Let's start. Since bowling average is universally acknowledged as a critical factor, let us give it the highest weightage. At least 30%.
Fine. Now, what about strike rate? Wickets per test. Now, these are both critical factors. Which is more important?
I would say strike rate.
I think so too. We should give it 25%. Then followed by wickets per test.
I was thinking of that too. I was wondering how much weightage should we give it to that?
I'm inclined to give it 20%.
Okay, 20% it is.
Looks okay to me so far. What comes next?
I think Pfeiffer.
The frequency of 5 wicket hauls?
Yes, an indicator of contribution to winning cause.
Very well. 15% weightage then? What would you say?
Fair. Bearing in mind, we have 2 criteria left still.
Yes. Number of wickets and economy rate.
Obviously, the number of wickets should come in next. Any captain would prefer wickets over containment.
Yeah. Results is what the teams generally play for, or rather should play for. So, how much?
8% should be a fair weightage, and followed by whatever is left allocated to economy rate.
Yeah. So, we have allocated 2% to economy rate.
Agreed. Let's freeze these criteria then. Now we are in a position to look at each of these separately and find which bowlers excel in each.
Why not?
Let's start with the economy rate first. We should move from small to big.
Okay, here we go.
Can you have the scores, please?
Yeah. Lock and Laker both make it.
8 at the top. Shall we move to the total wickets now?
This is a great list. Here you go.
No surprises in this list.
Yeah, the usual suspects.
How about taking a look at the top 10 list by Pfeiffers now?
Barnes is a Pfeiffer in every outing.
And it's great to see Shakib. Largely different sets of bowlers are coming up in each of these lists. Of course, there are commonalities.
It will all pan out on the overall scores and the weightages. It will be a very interesting list in the end, I think.
Yes, can't wait. What's the next factor? Wickets per test?
Yes. let's see who are the most effective wicket takers in history.
Barnes stops again.
Attlee, Moodley, and Ashwin again.
What's left?
Now we have to take a look at the strike rate now.
Yeah. No spinners here.
Mitchell Johnson, the only lefty.
Now we look at the average number of runs given away for every wicket taken.
Yes, as I said earlier, this is a very popular KPI for measuring a bowler's strength, discipline.
And efficiency?
Yeah, spot on.
Some names keep repeating.
Barnes, Marshall, Hadley, Stein, Murli. Finally, it's complete. Now, all the 100 bowlers of our eligible lists have been ranked according to the performance criteria, and each bowler has a score based on the factors.
We need to now sum up the scores for each bowler, considering the weightages that we have agreed for each performance criteria.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes. And then we see the top 10 ranking. I think I can guess some of the names based on the lists that we can see here.
Yeah, some of the names are obvious, but what about the ranking? What's taking you so long?
Wait. No. Yeah. The moment of truth. Here's the list finally all together. What do you say?
Well, we established the criteria, we analyzed all available data, and arrived at the list without any bias.
Right. Anything else we should talk about?
Perhaps we could ask the viewers then whether they think there are any critical criteria that we might have left out, or even for that matter, whether some of the weightages that we have allocated to these criteria should be reconsidered, of course with proper reasoning.
Agreed. I think you got a very good point. So viewers, please tell us, do you think we missed any criteria? Should our weightages be different? And here are some of the legends who missed narrowly being in the top 10. This is L.
And this is P.
We do hope you enjoyed our presentation. We promise to be back with more.
Please keep watching.